Well, first of all, I'm really pleased that the Commissioning Directorate is actually leading on the map of medicine. What I'm hoping, I suppose, are two things. One is around clinical engagement and particularly the interface, the primary-secondary care interface. I think that's really interesting, and we have a lot of enthusiasm for our GPs around map of medicine, and I think that will be a very good starting point for those conversations. And the other is, I was very interested in the commissioning speaker this morning and the idea that we can develop a pathway and actually go out to tender to say, this is what we want from you. And I think at the moment, commissioning sort of feels a bit like people tell us what they can offer. And we go, yeah, that sounds good. And I think it's a very good basis for actually defining what our outputs will be and actually hopefully being able to measure those and see whether we've been successful.
I think it has tremendous potential for actually getting us to standardise pathways and actually have a methodology for getting those governance structures around that pathway. I think also it's a good resource for us because instead of us having to redevelop lots of different pathways, it's clearly there as a resource. If you don't have those pathways already in place, they're a knowledge base for you really. And it's something to start the discussions off with.
A huge benefit in knowledge management, but also going by this morning's talk about the Wirral, is about delivering appropriate care through care pathways which are agreed and understood and available. Not photocopied and laminated and left in the bottom of somebody's drawer. No, inaccessible. If I take my work hat off, I'm a patient, and I thought we'd be able to look up conditions of myself and my family on the map of medicine, and so I understand it a little bit more. It's been spoken to in a 10-minute consultation. It would be enormously benefit, for my grandchildren. He's got so-and-so. I don't know what these things are. I just work in NHS, but now I can look it up through NHS choices and find out.
I think it's about standardisation of services. I think it's about improving quality, and I think that obviously for us, for moving forward for the future, it has to be that we don't fragment services, that we actually deliver what we're saying we're delivering, and with that local emphasis as well. So it's not just, we go one way, we can actually tailor-make that service to the individual need of the patient.
I think it's got tremendous application, both in terms of how it helps with the clinical robustness and consistency of how we improve our patient experience, but also how it can be used in the commissioning arena as well.
How do you envisage it will be used by the commissioners?
Well, I see it as one of the speakers was describing it this morning, was very much about when you're actually specifying the service level agreements or contracts, that you would actually say that the map of medicine pathways, be they the national ones or the locally adapted ones, would work within those contracts, and we'd be expecting compliance with those. Because then, as well as making sure we haven't got inappropriate usage of services, where we have got good services in place, we know the patients are actually getting them. Because I think we all know at the moment there are pockets of good service, but because the practitioners don't know about them and we're not enabling them to navigate to them, the patients are actually missing out as well.